Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining 4 Gardens. So this is 4 Gardens. I've set it up as a 2-player game. If you're setting up as a 3 or 4-player game, just make sure that everyone is on a side of that building. What this game is about is building these cards. So on your turn, you have 5 cards in your hand. They're randomly selected for each player. You will do 3 actions. One of those actions can be taking a card from your hand and playing it down. Once you have played it down, you're saying you're going to get these resources to be able to build that section of building. You'll notice there's some dots in the top right-hand corner of the card. That's telling you which parts of the landscape you are building. So this dot is actually saying the rightmost spot. If I was to play this card, it would be the leftmost spot. So if I happen to have that in my hand, they are the same color, so they go into the same line because that's the same landscape type. I could do that again if I wished. And maybe if I played that one. Notice it's a different color, so it's a different landscape, or if I wish to play that one. Now the other options that I have on my turn is to rotate and collect. In order to do that, I'm playing a card that has this symbol, and that is played into the discard pile. I probably don't want to play that one because that matches with this one. So I might play that one instead. So what that is saying is I am turning the second top portion of the building either clockwise or anti-clockwise, and then I'm taking resources from the bottom up. So the numbers of resources on the building, there's 1, 2, 3, and none. If I look on this side, there's none, 1, 2, 3. If I go around the building, there's 1 of this resource, then 2, this side will be 3, that side will be 0. So what he would probably do is if he were to play that one, he would turn this that direction or that direction. The way he'll make the choice is what resource does he need. He needs 3 water, 1 grass, 2 wood, and 1 rock. So turning that direction, he's getting the 1 rock and the 2 wood, but he's got 2 rocks spare. If he were to turn that direction, he's getting 2 water and 1 rock with nothing left over. So he might do that. That's his turn. Discard pile. Take from the bottom up. The reason you'll take from the bottom up is you only have the ability to hang on to 4 extra resources, and you must place into that the resource as you get it. So if you go from the bottom up, he takes in 1, 2 water and 1 stone. On the third action, he may choose to do that one, which would turn from the second top, either direction, maybe that way. So if he's played that, it's turned from the second top that way, then he collects from the top going down. So he would get 1 wood, 2 stone. Notice there are no stone on here, so he needs to put that there. And then he also takes 2 water. There's 1 and the second one goes up there. The third thing he could do is play a card with this symbol, and that's take a wild. So once again, he plays that out there, and he takes any resource. So he might take a grass. What he's now managed to do is complete this card. So as soon as the card is completed, all the resources are returned, and we flip that card over. This symbol then tells him where to move up. So if he were to turn this card over, he would move up on the pink line. Because he's turned that one over, he's allowed to move up on any of the lines. So he might choose to move up on the bottom line, for example. Now, on future turns, if he were to build this card and flip it over, he would move up on the purple line, and he would then move up on one of the other lines. And it doesn't matter which line, it can be different every time. If then on another future turn, he manages to build this one, there's only 1 card left owing, by the way. But if he manages to build that, he can move up on any line, move up on the purple, and move up on any line. So he might go 1 there and 1 there. The other thing that you're able to do on your turn is reallocate resources. Reallocating resources can be moving from 1 card to another card. It doesn't matter how many resources get moved around. or it could be moving from the holdings to one of the cards, or it could be moving from the holdings back to the bank so you can clear up some spaces. And that's this card with the wheelbarrow symbol on it, which is all of the cards, by the way. With this score track, if I have a token up on the top level and I score points for that level, I move every other marker back one. If a marker gets moved off the board, they can't move back onto the board. Once you finish a landscape, so in this case, if this card happened to be here and this one then got flipped over because it got completed, I've finished that landscape. So imagine that one's there. I would push them to the side. I would take one of these three markers. So that one adds an extra space of storage. That one allows me to take 4 goods of anything and place them onto my card. So I might be able to finish off some other cards with that. And that one is held onto will give me 4 points at the end of the game. These two get lower numbers as you go further through those decks. So getting them earlier is better in terms of those particular tokens. Now, bearing in mind that once you've got one of these cards being built, you can't start a second one of the same landscape. It has to be the same on the same space. If I had another green dot in the right-hand side, I wouldn't be able to put that out anywhere. I'd have to use it to discard. The other thing to bear in mind is you're only allowed to have 3 of these cards face up to be built on at any one time. So in order to get more cards, you need to complete cards, get them flipped over. As soon as they're flipped over, you're then able to put down other groundwork. Once you've taken 3 actions, you then replace your cards. So your choices are the cards that are here. So there are 3 of them face up. Take any of them you wish, or you can take the face down one. You can see what color and which position the face down one is, but it won't tell you what's on the other side of the card, obviously. Once a certain number of landscapes are completed by any one player, that will start the end of the game. So in a 2-player game, you're looking for 10 landscapes. So having a landscape completed is actually having 1 card flipped over. It's not completing the panorama. So if this one was completed, it would be 4 cards. So it'd be 4 out of that 10 that would be completed. You then complete the current round that you are in and go to the final scoring. The final scoring is adding up your positionings on that board and adding these tiles in. You can only have 1 of each pile. So adding that tile in. And that is the game. I hope that this helps you get 4 gardens to the table. Please go ahead and watch my gameplay to get a feel for how the game actually plays. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplained, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.